little closer, and you would see that her pants were ripped in 5 different places, and that they weren't wearing shoes. At this point, you didn't know whether to be happy or sad. So I looked at it as a choice, and I chose to be happy. Happy that they at least had hands. Happy that they were running alone, that they had family with them. It really just makes you feel so grateful for what you have. Grateful that there's an organization like Free the Children out there helping these kids. And grateful that there's schools like you, always making a difference. I'm pretty sure you know this already, but Arbor Lake has adopted a village in Kenya, Africa, called Nigasawani. On my trip, I wanted to visit that community so I could show you the difference that you are making, and show you where the money you have raised is going. It was a very bumpy, off-road car ride to Nigasawani. We were so far out, we started seeing all types of wildlife, such as zebras, giraffes, and other types of wildlife. But that also means that there is lions and hyenas and other types of predators. It just shows how dangerous living in their community really is. Once we got on a gate, I started to hear very faint music. The kids were singing to us, a song in Swahili, their language. He wanted to thank not only us, but also you for supporting their school. You guys are the ones that are making a difference in these people's lives. When it was time to take a tour of the school, the kids all grabbed our hands and pulled us towards their classrooms. I must have had at least 10 kids all fighting over who got to hold my hand. Some were even holding on to my ponytail. They would stroke my hair and skin, fascinated. They would try to ask me questions with the little English they knew. You would hear how hard they work in school and how they actually want to be there. They all want to learn everything there is to learn, and they all want to go to secondary school or high school. Some have siblings that are in the Kisaruni Girls Secondary School that we also visited. Plugging their noses and screeching, "Ew!" as we walk past the boys' bathrooms. Or playing tag and laughing. Or even wanting to be in a picture like this one. That is a little girl named Listen. What you don't see in this picture is her running towards my mom afterwards, wanting to see the picture she was in. These little things are the things that make your day. Last year, our school chose to focus on the water pillar. All the money we raised, all the fundraisers we did, it paid off. This is a borehole that was built for these kids and people in the community. Before this was built, these kids would have to walk about 3 kilometers to get water for their family. And they had to walk that far before breakfast. I actually got to feel a little what they have to do every day because I got to go on a water walk. We walked about 1 kilometer down to a river with very dirty water that some of you would need to clean your hands in. Then we filled up a 50-pound jug of water, which is about 25 liters, and carried it on our heads with a rope. My mom and I shared one, so we took turns carrying it. We did that once, but the mamas have to do it 5 times a a day. And they carried a 50-pound one plus another 25-pound jug. So just try to imagine a little girl your age carrying 75 pounds of water 5 times a day. Do you think she would have time for school? No. But now, since there is a borehole right next to their school, they can go to school in the morning, collect water, and bring it back home to their family after school. This alone has significantly increased the enrollment in these schools, especially for girls. This year, our school is taking on the education pillar. I've seen firsthand the differences Free the Children makes with this pillar. Here is what a school made out of mud, sticks, and cow dung looks like after the rainy season. Can you imagine trying to concentrate while sharing a desk with 4 other students and your papers are blowing away? Now this is what a Free the Children schoolhouse looks like. The teachers love the fact that posters can be hung on the wall without the walls falling down. Not only are we helping them, but they're helping us and teaching us a different way of living. So many people have it set in their minds that we have to live a certain way and act a certain way. But these communities in Africa open up their mind to a different way of living. Ninawi and Free the Children adopt these villages in hopes that one day they can lead them to their own resources, supporting themselves independently. One of their slogans is, "We give them a hand up, not a hand out." Now some people may say, what about the other thousands and thousands of kids that still aren't getting education because of having walked super far from water? They also may say that you're not making that big of a difference. You can't help everyone, so why do it at all? To answer that, I have a story to tell you that was shared with us on our trip. A young girl was walking along a beach upon which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to each starfish, she would pick it up and throw it back into the ocean. People watched her with amusement. She had been doing this for quite some time when a man approached her and said, "Little girl, why are you doing this? Look at this beach. You can't save all these starfish. You can't even begin to make a difference." The girl seemed crushed, suddenly deflated. But after a few moments, she picked up another starfish and hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. And then she looked up at the man and replied, "Well, I made a difference to that one." The old man looked at the girl inquisitively and thought about what she had said and done. Inspired, he joined the little girl in throwing starfish back into the sea. Soon others joined, and all the starfish were saved. I believe that is how everyone should think. No matter how